Good evening and welcome to Guyana TV9 News, broadcasting live on television and streaming across all our social media platforms. I am Daniela Arajo with your top stories for Friday, July 17th. In the headlines tonight, Attorney General NANDLALL vows to bankrupt Kingpins as state begins season illicit fortunes. Enough is enough. MANICKCHAND demands action on stalled kitty market. DPP warrants convictions at risk as sexual offense victims reluctant to testify. EDGHILL vows to freeze payments to slacking Georgetown drainage contractors. All 33 children evacuated safely after massive fire rips through Hope Children's Home. And Spanish-Guyanese artist Gaby blends culture, music, and entrepreneurship. And now for the news in depth. A devastating fire ripped through the Hope Children's Home in Enmore on Friday afternoon, destroying the facility's boys' dormitory and church building. But miraculous emergency actions ensured that all 33 children and staff were evacuated to safety without injury. More in this report.
The children were immediately evacuated and assembled in a safe area in the dam as emergency procedures were activated. Officials confirmed that all 15 girls and 18 boys were accounted for and that the majority of the children escaped without injury. The ministry said the fire started in the boys' dormitory while the children were attending Vacation Bible School in the church building on the compound. One child is under observation at the Enmore Hospital due to possible smoke inhalation and trauma, while a second is being assessed for a shoulder injury sustained while evacuating, as well as possible smoke inhalation. A staff member was also admitted with minor injuries.
All the children have been accounted for. There was a Bible class happening. All the children were evacuated. At present, we have housed them in our state care. I have already engaged the children and also the caregivers, and we are working with them to make sure that they're comfortable, they're safe, and we are starting the first session of trauma-focused counseling because it was a fire, and every fire brings with it trauma. So that will happen today. However, there were 2 children who were admitted at the Enmore Hospital for observation. One child is very traumatized by the whole incident, and it's out of abundant caution and possible risk of smoke inhalation that child is there. The second child, as he was leaving the facility, he fell and he may have some injury to his shoulder. We're waiting on the doctors to have a thorough medical evaluation and to also check him for smoke inhalation.
The Child Care and Protection Agency, in collaboration with the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, has since started relocating the children to state care facilities where they will continue receiving care and support. Chief Fire Officer Gregory Wickham said firefighters responded quickly after receiving the report, with 3 fire appliances and 2 ambulances dispatched to the scene. He confirmed that all children and staff who were inside the building at the time of the fire were accounted for, while 3 persons suffered minor injuries and received treatment from emergency medical technicians.
These were dispatched with 2 of our ambulances. From all accounts, all the children and staff that were in the building at the time, they are accounted for. We do have 2 persons, matter of fact 3 persons, who have suffered some injuries. One of the attendants suffered injury in her left hand, and a student, and one of the students more or less is suffering from shock. And they have been treated by our EMTs, and they'll be escorted to the hospital for the treatment.
Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Honorable Mark Phillips, who visited the scene, praised the quick response of the Home Administrator, residents, emergency services, and the surrounding community. He said the swift action taken when the alarms went off helped save lives while firefighters successfully contained the blaze to the boys' dormitory and prevented it from spreading to nearby buildings.
And from the time the alarms went off, he took immediate action that has resulted in saving lives today. So everybody who were in that building, they're all out of danger because of his action, swift action, right? So I want to commend him. I want to commend the residents who came out to ensure that the building was evacuated and everybody accounted for, everybody alive, right? And the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security provided transportation, and they've already moved the children to the Mahaika home, right? Children home.
The Guyana Fire Service will now move into an investigative phase to determine the cause of the fire, while officials continue providing support to the children and staff affected by the incident. Melanie Morris, Guyana TV9 News.
Georgetown's historic Kitty Market is closer to reopening after a decade of delays following a sharp ultimatum by local government minister Priya MANICKCHAND during a site inspection. The 2016 rehabilitation project is entering its final stages as Guyana Power and Light installs individual prepaid meters for displaced vendors. Here are the details.
The minister's visit comes amid mounting frustration over the prolonged closure of one of Georgetown's oldest municipal markets. During the walkabout, she met with officials from the Georgetown Mayor and City Council, Guyana Power and Light Incorporated, market administrators, and vendors, demanding updates on the outstanding works while expressing disappointment over the lengthy delays and the poor state of cleanliness at the facility.
This delay of your vision, like when you grow up, when you don't grow up, when I grow up, I will do this. When I grow up, I will do that. Yeah, we got move vision to execution. There's a complaint that the building and the restoration is taking way too long. So what's the stall up? It's undesirable to have any project take this long. I mean, this is a long time. A lot of people inconvenience. Not only vendors, but people who want to come and shop at the market, right? So we can't do that. We can't keep prolonging this for years.
The rehabilitation project, which began in 2016 under the Georgetown Mayor and City Council, has been plagued by repeated setbacks, forcing vendors to operate outside the market for years, while residents were left without full access to the historic commercial hub. The latest delays were linked to electrical infrastructure, but GPL officials reported that the transformer has now been installed and utility poles erected, allowing the remaining electrical connections to move ahead within the coming weeks. As the minister toured the market, vendors voiced concerns about the slow pace of the project, unsanitary conditions, security of stores, and uncertainty over how spaces will be allocated once the market reopens. In response, Minister MANICKCHAND assured them that the distribution of stalls will be carried out fairly and transparently, stressing that long-standing vendors must be treated with equity.
I think that's the problem, when I say stalls, I talking about people. When you say stalls, you seeing things at the city council, not people. That might be the problem with the city council. What we have to do, Angie, here is list out what has to be done in this market very methodically and then run it down with the city council, because this cannot be, when you need the water, because what you'll have is if you can't come in here and use water, you'll force the person to stay on the road.
GPL representative NANDLALL also informed the stakeholders that each stall will be filled with its own prepaid electricity meter. He explained that once the necessary applications are submitted, installation can begin, bringing the market another step closer to becoming fully operational. With discussions continuing between the ministry, the mayor, and city council and market officials, the government says the goal remains to deliver a modern, secure, and fully functional kitty market for the vendors who have spent years earning a living on sidewalks and makeshift stalls. The promise of reopening represents more than the completion of a construction project. It offers renewed hope for rebuilding their livelihoods. Melanie Morris, Guyana TV9 News.
West Indies cricket legend Sir Garfield Sobers has died, bringing to a close the life of one of the greatest players the sport has ever known. Widely regarded as cricket's greatest all-rounder, the Barbadian icon inspired generations with his brilliance as a batsman, bowler, and fielder. Tributes have poured in from across the Caribbean and the world, with Guyana's President Dr. Irfan Ali describing Sir Gary as the game's most glorious master and a symbol of Caribbean pride whose legacy will live on for generations. A surge in sexual offense complaints across Guyana is failing to secure convictions due to victims' reluctance to testify, the Director of Public Prosecutions warns. Because these crimes often occur in private, prosecutors report that cases collapse without survivor testimony to meet the burden of proof. More in this report.
Speaking with reporters on the sidelines of an event, Liz Rahaman, the communications officer within the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, said sexual offences are typically committed in private, leaving prosecutors heavily dependent on victims to give evidence during criminal proceedings. She explained that when victims choose not to continue with a case, the prosecution faces significant legal hurdles in proving the allegations beyond a reasonable doubt.
The victims themselves, to come forward and give the evidence. And you would know that sexual offenses, when they are committed in private, they are committed in the dark. They are committed outside of witnesses, extraneous witnesses seeing. So if that victim does not wish to proceed with the matter, how can DPP then, what it places the DPP in a very difficult position, and that is the main challenge which the DPP faces.
Mr. Hammond said the DPP office has intensified public education campaigns nationwide since 2013, with a particular focus on hinterland and indigenous communities to increase awareness of sexual offenses and domestic violence. She noted that the outreach program is aimed at helping citizens identify abusive behavior, understand the law, and encourage victims to report crimes to the Guyana Police Force. According to Rahaman, the nature of sexual offenses has also evolved, with cases involving both girls and boys being reported across the country. She stressed that abuse is frequently committed by relatives, trusted individuals, or persons in positions of authority, making education and awareness critical in helping victims recognize offenses and seek justice.
The DPP's chambers over the past years from 2013 to now, we have been conducting continuously outreaches across the 10 administrative regions of Guyana. Particularly, we have focused on the hinterland communities with the aim and objective of educating our people, our indigenous communities, on the sexual offenses matters and the domestic violence. Because, as you rightly said, sexual offenses are not only being committed on our girl children anymore, they're being committed on our boy children across the board.
Mr. Hammond also revealed that prosecutors have seen a growing number of police case files involving sexual offenses in recent years. She attributed the increase in reports to sustained public awareness efforts, saying more people are now recognizing the importance of reporting these crimes to law enforcement instead of remaining silent. Despite that progress, Rahaman maintained that victim cooperation remains a defining challenge in sexual offense prosecutions, emphasizing that successful cases often depend on victims being willing to testify. She said the DPP office will continue its nationwide sensitization campaign in an effort to strengthen public understanding of sexual offenses, encourage reporting, and improve access to justice for survivors. Melanie Morris, Guyana TV9 News.
Spanish-Guyanese singer, songwriter, and entrepreneur Gaby Love is making her mark by combining her cultural heritage with a passion for music and business. Let's find out more. Known for her vibrant sound and authentic storytelling, Gaby Love continues to celebrate both her Spanish and Guyanese roots through her music, creating a unique style that resonates with audiences at home and abroad. Her work reflects themes of identity, culture, and perseverance, while showcasing the rich diversity that exists within Guyana. Being a Spanish-Guyanese artist, going on stage, performing, getting the support from the Guyanese, is also placing in that national competition for the first time.
Oof. I was like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I say, whoa, I win? Did I win? Like, I couldn't believe it, I have to give a big up to the Ministry of Culinary and Sport because they support me through the journey. And, that means a lot, to support someone who's from Guyanese parents, came back to the country and honor both country and only supporting both country wherever I go. I representing Guyana, representing also Venezuela. So, it really showed me that it doesn't matter where I go, that the winning is on my list. Like, although I wasn't expecting to win, being one of the winners showed me that I born for this. Like, I have born to succeed. So, I don't know.
Beyond the stage, Gaby Love has also established herself as an entrepreneur, extending her creativity into the culinary world through her food business, blending the rich flavors of both Guyanese and Spanish cuisine. She offers unique delicacies that celebrate her dual heritage while introducing Guyanese to exciting new tastes and cultural experiences. Her business reflects her passion for bringing people together through food, creating something both distinctive and memorable.
That business actually started from home. From home, I used to perform at Cosmos and morning time. I used to go from gym. Then from gym, we used to start with lunch. So we cycle like if Guyana had cream Alfredo, just for example, right? We used to do the cream Alfredo, but put little mix with the seasoning. Venezuela little mix seasoning, Guyana, So people really say, hey, this is creamy Alfredo. Like, hey, this big day for different. So they like, we start like food. So I say, you know what, we are come big. I want to do something that Guyana never sell in the life. Like I say, I gotta bring little piece of Venezuela and put it on Guyana. And there's all the pizza burger barn. I say, you know what? I never see this. And this is both the halo. I see we Guyanese love pizza and we love burger. Yeah.
Her journey highlights the importance of embracing one's heritage while pursuing new opportunities and inspiring others to follow their dreams. Her growing influence serves as an example of how young creatives can successfully balance artistic passion with entrepreneurship, contributing to Guyana's expanding creative economy. Daniela Arajo, Guyana TV9 News. More news after the break. Do stay with us.
GCOM is conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing July 1, 2026 to produce an official list of electors, OLE. If you were 18 years or older on June 30, 2026 and you're a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GCOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all registration divisions across Guyana for you to check whether you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can object to anyone whom you believe does not qualify for inclusion in the OLE. To do so, you must be listed in the same divisional list as the person you are objecting to. You must visit the GCOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to make an objection. The objections aspect of this exercise will end on Friday, July 17, 2026. For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
I know you have work to do, but come, I just need a minute of your time. It won't even take that long. So, I have a proposal. We could do besties in Punta Cana. Really need a getaway. And not to worry, I went to Sunita Travel Agency and they recommended a few hotels that do all-inclusive stays. And they're very affordable. The vibes. Let me tell you something. We do not want to miss a trip to Punta Cana. Why? Ziplining. No, I know this is not your vibe, but please, listen. Hold on. Wait. I know you like throw it back. There's a boat party. We could go there. And then there's this thing called buggy adventure. Some buggy something. I don't know, but I want to be a buggy or whatever it is. I just want to be a part of it. And then we got snorkeling. Oh, this thing is so ugly. Please, you be next to uglier things than this. Stop it. Trust me, you're going to love it. It'll be just you and me, Punta Cana, drinks, just having the time of our life. Not to worry. We've got many flight options, and they made sure that they went through it with me. The prices are affordable. Trust me. I know you like thinking about the budget or whatever. Remember the time when we went and we missed the flight? Yeah, when we booked with Sunita Travel Agency, even if it happens, with slim chance, they'll know what to do and we won't be stranded like we did the last time. This solid plan. You, me, Punta Cana. Cheap. It won't even hurt your pocket. Please say yes. Yes.
Welcome back. You're watching Guyana TV9 News Bulletin. The Ministry of Public Works is cracking down on delinquent contractors tasked with clearing Georgetown's drainage network, with Minister Bishop Juan EDGHILL issuing a stern ultimatum: deliver quality work or forfeit every cent. More in this report.
Addressing growing public complaints, Minister EDGHILL said contractors who fail to properly execute their duties under the ministry's drainage program risk losing their payments. Minister EDGHILL revealed that close to 1,000 contracts have already been signed to carry out drainage, desilting, cleaning, grubbing, and the removal of waste from drains across Georgetown. He said residents have raised concerns that some contractors are performing only superficial work, prompting the ministry to intensify monitoring to ensure taxpayers receive value for money.
Now, let me address this matter because a number of persons have been calling me and complaining about the quality of work that is being done by those contractors and expressing dissatisfaction. I want to educate the entire public what these contractors are going to be paid to do and make it very clear, if they don't do it, they will not be paid.
The minister stressed that the scope of work goes far beyond cleaning weeds along road shoulders. Contractors are required to completely desilt drains by manually or mechanically removing all silt, slush, debris, and vegetation, while also clearing bridges, culverts, alleyways, and other drainage structures as directed by ministry engineers. Minister EDGHILL explained that the current dry weather provides the ideal opportunity to properly clean the city's drainage system before heavy rainfall returns. He emphasized that Georgetown residents are the ultimate beneficiaries of the program and deserve work that is thorough rather than rushed. In addition to clearing drains, contractors are required to remove every pile of slush, debris, and vegetation extracted during the cleaning process instead of leaving it behind. The minister made it clear that partial work or shortcuts will not be accepted as the government seeks to improve drainage and reduce flooding across the capital.
Let me make it clear. These contracts are not for people just to come and weed the road edge. They pull a couple buckets of slush and move on. This is not going to be a fast and nasty operation. And the reason why I'm educating the public is because this exercise, you are the beneficiaries.
Minister EDGHILL's warning served as a clear notice to every contractor participating in the nationwide drainage program: complete the work to the required standard or forfeit payment. With the ministry promising stricter oversight, residents can expect closer scrutiny of ongoing drainage works as the government pushes for cleaner drains and better flood protection throughout Georgetown. Melanie Morris, reporting for Guyana TV9.
Guyana has entered an aggressive new phase in its crackdown on organized crime, with state authorities shifting their crosshairs toward completely confiscating assets amassed through illicit empires. Attorney General NANDLALL revealed that the government is moving far beyond just hunting for prison convictions, pivoting to ensure that kingpins are stripped of every cent of their financial gains. More in this report.
The minister highlighted the growing cooperation among several state agencies, including the Director of Public Prosecutions, the Attorney General's Chambers, the Special Organized Crime Unit, the Guyana Police Force, the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit, and the Guyana Revenue Authority. According to Minister NANDLALL, this collaboration has already produced major results, including the freezing of accounts and the detention of significant quantities of gold and other precious metals through court-approved measures.
In recent times, we have reaped tremendous successes through a collaboration between the DPP, the Attorney General Chambers, SOCU, members of the Guyana Police Force, CANU, and the Guyana Revenue Authority. You would have read in the newspapers how many accounts we have frozen recently, how many large quantities of gold and other precious metals that we have detained through court orders.
Minister NANDLALL explained that the next stage of the government's strategy will place greater emphasis on forfeiture, allowing the state to recover assets connected to criminal activity. He said authorities will use existing laws to target proceeds of crime and prevent individuals from benefiting financially from illegal operations. The Attorney General pointed out that in previous years, individuals convicted of serious crimes often receive prison sentences along with hefty fines, but those fines were not always actively recovered. He said that this approach is now changing, with the state moving to pursue outstanding penalties and take longer actions against criminally obtained wealth.
The emphasis now going forward is on forfeiture, is to seize proceeds of crime. In the past, you would recall that a person gets a conviction for drugs and they go to jail, but there's a huge fine that is also imposed. Let us say 3 years imprisonment with $10 million in fine. The fines were never pursued. We are now going to pursue the fines, and we are going to seize, using the law, seize properties that evidence suggests are the proceeds of crime or acquired through criminal means and criminal proceeds.
Minister NANDLALL said Ghana's new approach aligns with broader efforts across the Caribbean and internationally to dismantle criminal networks by attacking their financial foundations. He stressed that the focus will no longer only be on sending offenders to prison, but also on removing the assets gained from criminal activity. Adana Darek, Ghana TV9 News.
The African Cultural and Development Association, ACDA, has unveiled plans for its 2026 Emancipation Day Festival, set for August 1 at the National Park. The celebration will feature a sunrise service, African drumming, traditional food competitions, cultural presentations, and performances from local and international artists. This year's observance carries added significance as ACDA marks 400 years of African presence in Guyana. Chief Eric Phillips says the organization's year-long program will highlight the resilient heritage and contributions of African Guyanese through exhibitions, concerts, and other commemorative activities. Award-winning Guyanese gospel recording artist Faith Kurika continues to use her voice to inspire, uplift, and share messages of faith with audiences across Guyana and beyond. Here's more in this report.
Earlier years, Kurika made history by capturing Guyana's senior Calypso Monarch title in 2021 and 2022, becoming one of the country's youngest back-to-back champions. Her performances showcased not only her exceptional talent, but also her ability to use music to communicate meaningful and impactful messages.
I think it's really inspiring to be the youngest senior Calypso Monarch. Not much people were able to do that. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people dreamt of it. I did not have intentions of being the youngest senior Calypso Monarch. When I got into that competition at just 21 years old, I was so nervous because I'm going up against veterans, as you would call them. I did not expect to win. And, when it happened, I was surprised. But it feels good. It feels good when people talk about it, that people could see you in a good light.
Her musical journey has since continued to flourish with the release of her debut album, Beautiful, a collection of songs rooted in worship, hope, and faith that further established her as one of Guyana's leading young gospel artists.
So my gospel music career initially started in, I believe it was 2020, in the midst of the pandemic. And it started off as this small thing, just a young girl and a young producer who loved music and who loved the Lord. And it has grown to become so spectacular, I might say. I have fun. I have a lot of fun in my gospel career. Beautiful, the album. It wasn't my idea. I had no intentions of creating an album at that point in my career, but Joshua said, "Hey, you could do this thing. Let me do this thing." And so we did the entire album, and it's almost a masterpiece.
Most recently, Karika released her latest single, Higher, an uplifting song that encourages listeners to deepen their faith, persevere through life's challenges, and keep their focus on God. With a growing catalog of inspirational music and a passion for ministry, Faith Karika continues to demonstrate that her calling is about far more than music. It's about touching lives, spreading hope, and inspiring others through faith. Daniela Arajo, Guy TV9 News.
More news after the break. Do stay with us.
Want to place your death announcements and in memoriam messages on Channel 9? Call 592-761-5006, 710-5008, 600-5006. Or visit our office at Lot 85A Lamaha Street, Albertown, Georgetown, Century 21 Building.
Guyana Channel 9 is now Guy TV9, proudly under new management. We're building stronger with a balanced and open platform for all advertisers. Whether you're promoting a business, service, or event, your message belongs right here. So choose your spot, news, primetime, or anytime, and reach viewers across Guyana. With affordable rates and professional service, Guy TV9 is your partner in progress. So visit us at Lot 21A, Lamaha Street, Georgetown, in the Century 21 building, or call 600-5006 or 761-5006. Guyana TV9. New leadership, fresh outlook, real results.
Welcome back, and now for our original news update. The Caribbean Examinations Council will scrap school-based assessments for most non-practical subjects by 2028. They will replace them with supervised invigilated exams to stop students from using artificial intelligence to cheat. In Trinidad, the state blocked the late-night release of Blue Water's owner Dominic Hadid and his wife. The high-profile couple remains in prison under house arrest rules until the UK Privy Council makes a final decision. A horrific crash between a minibus and a truck on Jamaica's North Coast Highway in Trelawney left at least 6 people dead. Emergency crews had to block traffic for hours to clear the scene. Trinidad and Tobago is leading a major Caribbean aid response for Venezuela. Prime Minister Kamala Prasad-Visasar is coordinating directly with Caracas after massive twin earthquakes left nearly 5,000 dead. Turning now to international news. Prime Minister Modi launched India's first domestically built hydrogen-powered train in Haryana, named the Namo Green Rail. It hits speeds of 75 kilometers per hour and marks a massive milestone for zero-emission global transit. Former Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham was officially declared the leader of the UK's Labour Party. He ran completely uncontested and will take over as Prime Minister next week, replacing Keir Starmer. Japan's parliament approved strict new royal laws, while the changes allow distant male adoptions to protect the shrinking monarchy. They strictly bar female rulers, making the popular Princess Aiko ineligible for the throne. Public protests broke out in Kyiv after President Zelensky fired tech-savvy Defense Minister Mikhailo Fedorov. The high-profile dismissal prompted a top air war commander to resign in immediate solidarity. And those were the stories making the news tonight. Keep the conversation going online. Follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube at GUY TV9. I am Daniela Arajo. Thank you for tuning in and have a safe evening. Bye for now.